Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, we are continuing our 5-year rebuild series here in CFB 26. Today, we are doing the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Now, with Southern Miss, I didn't do them last year. We're doing them now. With Southern Miss, they hired the former Marshall coach, the guy who won the Sun Belt last year, and then the Marshall didn't, extend his contract. He's now here in half of Maryland. Maryland. Marshall's roster is on Southern Miss because, again, the coach is here. Anyway, we want to win a national title. We just won one with Utah State. We want to win one for Southern Miss. As I'm recording this, Southern Miss got their ass handed to them by Mississippi State, and they didn't cover the spread. So, we're here to bring the Golden Eagles to glory. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is their roster. We have quarterback Braylon Braxton as a quarterback. Sadly, he's only going to be with us for 1 year. We have Jacory Robinson. Denzel Gardner, the freshman. Maybe he can develop, but he has normal depth. We have Landry and John White. At the running back, we have Robert Biggs. By the way, I don't know if any of these guys are from Marshall or not. Matt Jones and Jeffrey Pittman as our top three. And then these guys here. Maybe Joel Raymond could develop with 88 speed, but he has normal depth. Fullback, we have Cody. Elijah Metcalf as our best receiver, followed by Micah Davis and Mr. Chapman. And then we have Chuck, Carl, Braylon Brown, and then these guys here. Tight end, we have Kyron Heath as the senior there, and then we have these guys right here. Left tackle, we have Haynes and Demarius. Left guard, we have Luke Rogers. We have Broderick Roman as the starting center, and Cooper Frazier. Right guard, we have Jez and Larry, and then these guys. Greg at the starting right tackle, and then these guys here. Left end, we have Jabari Ishmael. I believe he was at Marshall last year. Why do I keep saying Marshall as Maryland? I don't know. Eric Thomas Jr. also there, and then these guys. Right end, we have Jamon Tap, and then these guys here. Tackle, or D-tackle, we have Isaiah Gibson Sr., followed by Mr. Warren, and then these guys over here. Jonathan McGowan is our Sam, and then these guys here. Mike, we have Chris Jones, and then these guys here. Michael Montgomery at the will, and then these guys here. Corners, we have Josh Moten at an 89, damn, and then everybody else is fucking dog shit, no offense. Ishbel Ibrahim, I believe he was at Marshall last year. Free safety, we have Armani Foster, and then these guys are not good. Dominic Hill at the strong safety. Josh Battle and Mr. Corey over there. Kicker, we have Barry Pryor and Charles Tucker at the Pryor. You guys know it. You guys know the drill by now. We need talent, so we got to recruit, so let's go. Kevin Steffa, committed. Parker Cole Wow Whiskey, committed. Darren Bringingham, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, our first year at Southern Miss, we're going to the Sun Belt Championship, taking on Georgia Southern. Nathan Ward, committed. Clyde Schlub, committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have won the Sun Belt here in year one. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Heisman Trophy winner is John Matier, quarterback of Oklahoma. He had 2,869 yards, 25 tutties, and a 70% completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we are ranked 25th, not making the playoff though. But we are going to the New Mexico Bowl, taking on Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs. And ladies and gentlemen, we do fall 34-13, damn. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the year one stats. Braylon Braxton, 301 for 490, 61% completion percentage, 3,668 yards, 30 tutties, and 8 picks. Rushing, Jones, 219 for 1,002 yards, 8 tutties. Braxton, 163 for 405, 6 tutties. Briggs, 74 for 303, 6 tutties. Pittman, 64 for 299, 10 tutties. Falk, 1 for 2 with a tutty. Receiving, Metcalf, 91 for 1,051, 3 tutties. Chapman, 75 for 1,017, 11 tutties. Davis, 47 for 598, 6 tutties. Chuck, 25, 511, 7 tutties. Heath, 39 for 308, 2 tutties. Jones, 11 for 95, 7 for 58 for Briggs. Carl, 3 for 22 with a tutty. Jeffrey Pittman, 3 for 8. Defensively, Josh Battle, 96 tackles, 87 for Jones. Foster, 82, 79 for McGowan. Hale with 69, 68 for Tolles. Josh, 61, 54 for Tapp. And Lewis with 40. Tackles lost, 17 by Tapp, 12 by Gibson Sr., 8 by Lewis. Warren with 7, 6 by Battle, and Jabari. Chris Jones with 5, 4 by Lewis. Hill with 2. Foster, McGowan, Tolles, Moton and Montgomery with 1 apiece. Sacks 5.5 by Tapp, 3.5 by Gibson Sr. Lewis, 2.5 along with Jabari. 2 by Lewis, 1 by Warren. Interceptions, we had 6 by Moton. Battle with 2, 1 by Hill, Foster, and Tolles. We won the Sun Belt. Hey, let's go for the playoffs next year. Did they just score another touchdown? And ladies and gentlemen, we had Clemson, Iowa State in the national championship with Clemson winning 31-28. How about Kansas going from the 12th spot to the semifinal? South Carolina upsetting Nebraska, almost upsetting Georgia. And Iowa State upset Penn State. Craziness, but Clemson wins. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are losing a lot of talent here, and we really did not recruit well in high school. Transfer portal, we're going to have to build with it, so let's go. Jordan Matthews, committed. Tristan Castro, committed. Dion Gafferney, committed. Tremaine T, committed. Cole MacArthur, committed. Maurice Crispin, committed. Deshaun Spears, committed. Jelani Watkins, committed. Connor Lesan, committed. Parker Livingstone, committed. Trayvon Howard, committed. Stanton Ramel, committed. DeMarco Wilkes, committed. Quaysheed Scott, committed. Caleb Perez, committed. Brandon Best commits. Peyton Kirkland, committed. Braylon Joyner, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 41st best class in the nation. That's the best in the Sun Belt. We've got some talent to work with now. We just won the Sun Belt. Maybe playoffs, but I'm delusional. Let's go. Josiah Etienne, committed. Ezekiel Michael, committed. Antonio Barmore, committed. Marlon Matcock commits. Deontay Rahman, committed. Orson Lewis, committed. Lorenzo Devoy, committed. Lorenzo Devoy, committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we're ranked 19th. And we're going to the Sun Belt Championship. If we win, we might make the playoffs. But first, we got to take down Georgia Southern. Raekwon Sams, committed. Ezekiel Awuzie, committed. And ladies and gentlemen, for the second time this rebuild, we have won the Sun Belt. We could have just punched our ticket to the playoff. Let's go. Mike Nisbet, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Heisman Trophy winner is Rocco Beck, quarterback of Pittsburgh. He had 4,183 yards, 38 tutties, and a 65% completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have made the college football playoff here in year number 2, and we're taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Ladies and gentlemen, we gave it our best shot. We lost 34-10, but we'll get them next year, champ. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 2 stats. Darren, the freshman, got the start. He was 301 for 463, 65% completion percentage, 3,785 yards, 30 tutties, 11 picks. Rushing, Kevin, another freshman, 239 for 1,022 with 7 tutties. Carter, 108 for 397, 7 tutties. Darren, 153, 396, 4 tutties. Falk, 2667 with 7 tutties. Receiving, Watkins, 101 receptions for 1,197, 7 tutties. Parker Livingston, 61 for 968, 9 tutties. Chapman, 49 for 655, 6 tutties. Page, 25 for 378, 4 tutties. King, 35 for 327, 2 tutties. Stefoff, 14 for 105. Davis, 6 for 82 with a tutty. Jalen Carter, 8 for 65. Luke, 2 for 8 with a tutty. Defensively, 72 tackles for Foster, 68 for Scott, 64 Howard, 62 Castro, 57 Spears. Matthews, 55, 49 for Connor and Tony, 48 for JJ. Chris Jones with 45. Texas lost 10 by JJ. Parker with 11, 6 by Dolan. Foster with 5 along with Keith. 4 by Howard. Hayes with 3, 2 by Connor, Chris, and Zach. 1 by Haygood, Mitchell, and Mr. Scott. Sacks, we had 5.5 by JJ, 4 by Parker. Brandon with 2.5, 1.5 by Foster. Keith, 1 by Zach, half sack by Connor and Mathis. Interceptions, 5 by Castro, 3 by Spears, Matthews, and Scott. 2 by Foster and Howard. And that was year 2 stats. Year 3, we'll get them next year. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Clemson does it again. They go back-to-back, defeating the Heisman Trophy winner, Rocco Beck. They blew out Notre Dame good. They got it. They got us. They beat Notre Dame for us. But yeah, Clemson back-to-back natties. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our tackle we got in the portal last year will be leaving for the draft. But we also have some other key pieces leaving. We got to convince a few people to stay. So let's add to our roster for next season. Spencer Marciendo committed. Jermaine Maichad committed. Jose Lester committed. Cooper Fordham committed. Miles McVeigh committed. Jack Hood committed. Chantrell Lewis committed. Corey Smith committed. Jackson Howard committed. Lathel Gianniham commits. Luke Burress committed. Jason Mackey Jachaka commits. Nathaniel Wright committed. Sam Sledge committed. Lionel Bartel commits. Jonathan Bibbs committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 22nd best class in the nation. Once again, the best in the Sun Belt. I think we're going to dominate the Sun Belt. We need to figure out how we're going to win in the playoffs. Let's go. Marshall Horn committed. Derek Powell committed. Raiden Winger committed. Dale Slater committed. Steven Salem committed. Keon Flood committed. Vince Agnew committed. Raekwon Manelli committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2027 Heisman Trophy winner is Eli Holston, quarterback of Alabama. He had 4,052 yards, 38 tutties, and a 70% completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we are ranked 22nd, but we did not do enough to make the playoffs. We're going to be going to the New Orleans Bowl, taking on UConn. And ladies and gentlemen, we've won the New Orleans Bowl. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 3 stats. Darren, 299 for 458, 65% completion percentage, 3,686 yards, 25 tutties, and 6 picks. Rushing, Michael Welch. I don't know how he got him here. He didn't pop up in the portal stage, but he's here. Anyway, he had 239 for 1,318, 26 tutties. Darren, 157 for 598, 7 tutties. Kevin, 112, 739 tutties. Joel, 15 for 27, 4 tutties. Spencer, 1 for 4 with the tutty receiving. Livingstone, 108 for 1,276, 9 tutties. Bibbs, 86 for 1,200 yards, 6 tutties. Watkins, 37, 452, 4 tutties. King, 36, 357, 4 tutties. Chubb, 18 for 282, 2 tutties. Kevin, 9 for 72. Welch, 4 for 32. Lorenzo, 1 for 5. Defensively, 95 tackles by Corey Smith. Scott with 86, 78 for Howard. Castro, 65, 52 for Myrick. 48 for Keith. Howard, 46, 45 for Spears. Ruffin, 41. Tackles lost, 12 by Howard. Keith with 9, along with Parker. 7 by Corey, 4 by Antonio and Brandon, 3 by Howard, Ruffin, and Marlin, 1 by Castro, Travis, and Chris. Sacks, we had 6 by Keith, 5.5 by Howard, 4.5 by Parker, 4 by Corey Smith, 1 by Dalton, Ruffin, Colombo, and Hayes. Interceptions, 4 by Castro and Spears, 2 by Howard, and 1 by Murphy. Disappointing year, of course, from our previous year, but year 4, I think we might do something special. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, Clemson does not get the three-peat. This time around, it was Georgia and Alabama, with Georgia coming on top, 42-35. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Spears and Livingstone will be going to the draft. Wickley is going to leave us, but we do convince these people to stay with us, so let's go. Justin Hassan Holty committed. Josh Pujade commits. Jackson Veazey committed. Dennis Booth commits. Dion Ho committed. Davon Frazier committed. Alex Antoni committed. Cameron Keys committed. Elijah Cannon committed. Connor Howes committed. Khalil Crothers committed. Elijah Newell committed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 25th best class in the nation. Once again, the best in the Sun Belt. We have got a lot of talent here. Can we recover from this year 3 disaster here in year 4? Let's go. Sean Brooks committed. Alex Smythe committed. David Osgood committed. Stanley Carmona committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the Sun Belt Championship, and we're ranked number 7. Could this be our year? And ladies and gentlemen, we have won the Sun Belt, and we are on to the playoffs. Johnny Ingram committed. Lorenzo Bollinger committed. David and Warren Reed committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2028 Heisman Trophy winner is Josh Flowers, quarterback of Clemson. He had 4,168 yards, 44 tutties, and a 74% completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the college football playoff, taking on the LSU Tigers. And ladies and gentlemen, we fall 28-24 We're going to have to go all in next year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 4 stats. Darren, 290 for 421, 68% completion percentage, 3,734 yards, 36 tutties, and 3 picks. Rushing, Spencer, 239 for 1,216, 11 tutties. Kevin, 130 for 556, 11 tutties. Darren, 136, 371, 5 tutties. Joel, 58 for 222, 4 tutties. Receiving, Watkins, 92 for 1,085, 7 tutties. Josiah, 51 for 701, 9 tutties. Deontay, 45, 605, 7 tutties. Shane King, 46, 4, 655, 5 tutties. Bibbs, 21 for 381, 4 tutties. Clyde, 20 for 371, 4 tutties. Spencer, 10 for 295, 2 for 18 for Kevin. Joel, 2 for 10. And Trayman, 1 for 3. How about the defense? 78 tackles for Noel. Merrick, 73, 66 for Castro, 58 for Keys. Boo, 52, 48 for Lewis, 44 for Ward. Tackles lost, Booth with 22, 9 by Parker. Mike with 8, 7 by Frazier. Ruffin with 6, 5 by Ward and Antonio. 4 by Elijah, 3 by Corey, 2 by Castro, Cannon, and Travis. 1 by Orzo, DeMarco, and Marshall. Sacks 11.5 by Booth, 4 by Mike. Ruffin with 4, 3 by Frazier, Barmore, 2 by Parker, Nathan with 1, and Corey and Travis also. Half sack by Noel, Cannon, and Horner. Interceptions 7 by Castro, 5 by Merrick, 4 by Keys, 3 by Cannon, 1 by Noel, and Lewis. Got to go to the portal, get more talent so we can win an Addy in year 5. And ladies and gentlemen, it was Alabama and Clemson. LSU got all the way to the semis before losing to Clemson. But anyway, it was Alabama and Clemson. Also, Iowa State goes on a run. But in the end, Alabama wins 46-35. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, our right tackle is going to the fucking NFL draft. But we do get to keep everybody on this list. Let's go. Jay Bouchard, committed. Henry Ash, committed. Jeremiah Waller, committed. Jay Leon, committed. Gage Schwab, committed. Emmanuel Woo commits. Leon Prince, committed. Greg Augustine, committed. Artie Francis, committed. Connor Hearns, committed. Mikael Green, committed. Andre Anku, committed. Terrell Earl, committed. George Ringo, committed. Haja Miller, committed. Randy Cornell, committed. Santiago Mayo, committed. Anthony Addison, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 21st best class in the nation. That's the best in the Sun Belt. We've gotten all the talent we need. We have had the best recruiting class in the Sun Belt. We should have no problem winning the Sun Belt. But is that enough talent we have to win an Addy? Well, let's upgrade our players, and I'll see you for the year 5 sim. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we have put together the squad. Darren Birmingham up to a 90 overall, playing like a 92. Running backs are really good here. We have Kevin and Spencer, our top 2 backs. Our receivers look disgusting. Pretty much all of them have 90 speed outside of one guy in Lauren. The tight ends, 87 speed, Andre, and we have Jeremiah Waller, our top 2 tight ends there. Left tackles, we got Connor Howes there. Left guard, Keon Floyd and Mayo. I think Mayo probably will start over Floyd. We'll see about that, though. Crispin and Brandon, top 2 centers there. How about this? Ezekiel Michael, 94 right guard, 93 overall, 94. He's playing up to right tackle. We have an 80 Artie and Artie Francis. We'll see how he does. Left edge, Dell. This defense looks disgusting. Mike and Emmanuel, 91, 86. How about our D tackles? Antonio, Dennis, and Parker. Good luck playing that D line, man. Sam, we have Nathaniel Ward. Mike, we have Zach Ruffin. We have Marlon Marcock at the wheel. Cornerbacks even look disgusting. Greg Augustine, Kevin Castro, Henry Ash, and then our corners look good. Free safety, free safety even look good. Strong safety, Alex and Rooks. There's the kicker. There's the punter. We have built a really good team here in this Southern Miss rebuild. Now it's time to hopefully we win an Addy. So let's put auto recruiting on and get the simming. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently 8-0 with 4 games left to go. We're ranked 8th in the land. We could be in contention to get a bye. Probably not going to happen, but we're in contention. So let's get through these 4 games of South Alabama, UNM Monroe, Marshall, and Troy, and we can go to the playoffs. So let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, we're ranked 9th in the land. And we'll be taking on James Madison in the Sun Belt Championship. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, we have once again won the Sun Belt. We are now on to the college football playoffs. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be playing the Iowa Hawkeyes here in the opening round of the college football playoff. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at our home university hosting a college football playoff game. As you can tell, I do not have my AC on because it's a little chilly in the mornings, I guess I can say. Anyway, that doesn't matter. At least you don't have to deal with the echo. Iowa is a tough team. They're a Power 4 program. We're obviously a Group of 5 school. Here we go. We have home field advantage. Let's win this and get to the next round. Let's go. Kevin Stefan with a 21-yard rush to give us a 7-0 lead. Alrighty, 9-7 Southern Miss. We have the lead. Alrighty, we have the lead, 9-7, first and goal at the 3. Darwin gonna hike it to whoever that was, and he's gonna lose yards. Loss of 3 on that play. Second goal from the 6. We're gonna hike it, and now we got Marciano, I believe, Spencer. That's a touchdown. Southern Miss. Alright, first and goal from the 4. Darren, he's gonna hike it. He's got a man over the middle. Touchdown, ETN, and that extends our lead in half. I believe that's 23-7. And Jonathan Bibbs with a 5-yard touchdown to end the game. It's 33-13. We are on to the next round. And ladies and gentlemen, we put belt to ass. After that, we scored 2 more touchdowns. 48-16 the final. And we are on to the quarterfinals. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this could be the end of the 5-year rebuild here as we're going to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic taking on Georgia, my arch emesis. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Jerry's World at Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium. Georgia is really, really good. There are enemies in these 5 rebuilds, along with Texas, Bama, and maybe you can include Ohio State. Listen, this is probably the best team in Southern Miss history. You just gotta believe. If you believe, it will come true that we bring the Natty home. You gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. Can we beat Georgia and get to the semis? Find out right here, right now. Spencer Marciano, 13-yard touchdown to give us a 10-3 lead. We have a 13-10 lead late in the third quarter, excuse me. 3rd and 4. Darren, he's got a... Whoever 29 is read it fucking like a book. Son of a bitch. Gotta get a 3rd and 7. Darren, come on. Got him. Divide, whatever the fuck your name. First down. 4th and 3 at the 36. We're going for it. Got him again. Chubb, first down. Spencer Marciano, 17-yard rush. We have a 10-point lead late in the 4th. Come on, boys, bring it home. 3rd and 3. Darren to Spencer. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We took down big, bad Georgia. And we are now in the semifinals. Come on, boys. I told you to believe. You gotta keep believing. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be going to the All-State Sugar Bowl, taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Here we are at the Caesars Superdome. We didn't have to go that far from Mississippi to Louisiana. Notre Dame had to go from South Bend, Indiana to Louisiana. Excuse me, I'm getting my geography mixed up. But it's a video game. That doesn't matter. Notre Dame, on paper, are the better team. But do they have heart? Do they have soul? Do they have pride? And do they believe? I don't think so. We have that here at Southern Miss. Keep believing. And come on, Southern Miss. Let's get to the Natty. Come on, boys. Let's go. 4th and 7 at the 44. We're down 10. We will elect to go for it. Darren. He's got a man. He's got Raheem. First down. 1st and goal at the 2. Here we go. Hands off. Kevin's going nowhere. Here we go. Darren. Hands off. Not going anywhere. From the 7. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Darren. He's going to hike it. In the flat. He's going to go nowhere. We're going to have to settle for 3. Spencer Marciano, 13-yard rush. 17-15. We're going for 2. Here it is, the 2-point conversion to tie the game. Darren. Spencer, get in there. Fuck you, you cock. 3rd and 19. Here we go. Got him. Hold on to that football. Wow, what a play. 1st and 10. Got him. Bibbins. Oh my God, we might be able to score. 1st and goal at the 2. Can't squander this. Darren. 2nd and goal from the 2. Darren's in. Let's go. Here we go. 3rd and 7. This is the game, folks. Got him! We got him! We got him! All right, from the 5, we got to go a long way for a field goal. No timeouts. Darren, you were meant for this. There we go. He held on to it. 1st and 10, a 20-yard gain. Darren. Underneath to Rahman. 2nd and 1. Got him. Rahman again. 1st and 10. Okay, I'll take that. 2nd and 10. Please! 3rd and 10. We're going to go underneath. Chubb. 1st down. I can smell a field goal range. Darren. That's fine. Rahman breaks the tackle. We can get out of bounds. 55 seconds ago. Hands it off. Marciano. 2nd and 5. Go. Marciano. We're going to take a touchdown. Defense, come on. Here we go. 1st and 10, Notre Dame. They need a touchdown. Please, defense. Okay. Oh, my God. That's big gain. No. There's 4 seconds. We're playing, man. Here we go. This is the game. Oh, my God, please. We picked it! Oh! Suck on that, Notre Dame! We are going to the national championship. A come-from-behind win. A win. It doesn't matter how you win. A win is a win is a win is a win. We did it, and we're now in the national title. Come on, Southern Miss. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are taking on the Ohio State for the national championship. Here we are at the Hard Rock, home of the national championship. We're taking on the Ohio State. We're rocking the gold. Hopefully that's enough to bring the gold home. Last time we took on the Ohio State in the national championship, it was when we were Maryland, and we almost got so close to our first natty of the year. Here we are, Southern Miss. You've been believing, you gotta keep believing. Ohio State, just like Notre Dame, much better than us on paper. But do they have the heart? Do they have the soul? Do they believe? I don't know. But here at Southern Miss, we do. Let's bring home the natty for good old Southern Miss. Here we are, 3rd and 12 at the 14. Here we go. Darren. He's going to hike it. He's got a man open. Rajama, touchdown, Southern Miss. And we have a 7-0 lead in the national championship. Let's go. Jonathan Bibbs, 48-yard touchdown, 14-6 Southern Miss. 3rd and 7, up 1. Darren. That's his 3rd pick of the game, and we threw it right to him. 3rd and 4 at the 8. 1-point lead. Darren dumps it off. Spencer, touchdown, Southern Miss. Fuck Ohio State, suck on that, pussies. Defense, come on. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. Southern Miss are national champions. Let's fucking go. They believed, they had heart, they had soul, something Ohio State doesn't have because they're fucking soft like pussies. Crying Ryan Day. Anyway, I'm sorry, Ohio State fans. I'm in the moment. We had done it. Southern Miss. We avenge our loss that against Maryland we had early. Lift the trophy. Is this one of the best teams I have built? I do not know. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. National champions for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Was this one of the best teams I have rebuilt? I have no clue. I think we did a really good job recruiting, and I think we did a lot of good job putting this town together. I mean, I saw a recruiting video that I adapted in this video, and maybe that is how we won a natty. I have no clue, but we did it. Maybe I found a recruiting strategy, but we did it. Southern Miss to the top. That's their motto, is to the top. We took them to the top. Southern Miss, this was a lot of fun. Beautiful colors. Hopefully Southern Miss in real life, maybe they do something special this year in real life. Maybe in years to come, maybe make a playoff, maybe win a playoff game, or maybe win a natty. Who knows with Southern Miss? Sky is the limit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, hit like, hit subscribe. When you hit like and subscribe, you motivate me to keep doing this. And with that being said, I hope you have a great day or night, depending on when you watch the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.